What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and this time I'm sure to make the something like that refresh series bowling alley. Here it is. This will have an interior, as will all refreshes, which I'll probably have to say. I'll say in every one probably, but anyway, I'll give you a sneak peek of that. Although I won't show you the full thing because no spoilers. After this is hospital, by the way. And that won't be for a while, more than likely. I've been making progress towards it, just that thing is gonna be massive. If you think this is big, it'll be bigger than that one there. Anyway, here's a sneak peek of the inside, and with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side if I can fit through the freaking door. In case anyone asked, and for comparison, here's the original bowling alley. I hate looking at this, frankly. And here's the remake bowling alley, which, although it isn't great or doesn't look like a bowling alley, at least I can look at it and not cringe. On another note, here are the list of all the materials you'll be needing for this build. Not as bad as some of the refreshes, but it's still long. Alrighty, and the space you need for this is a 77 by 102. And the materials you'll be needing to start off are smooth stone slabs, which will just be briefly. I'll explain why in a bit. Red nether bricks, smooth quartz blocks, smooth quartz stairs, red concrete, white concrete, block of coal, and we'll go spruce planks and I guess polished deep slit. So starting from the front left-hand corner of your 77 by 102 grid golf call, if it is more convenient, you can start from the front right. This build is completely symmetrical, with the exception of interior, obviously, but that's not important. The exterior is completely symmetrical. But you want to start by counting right by 1, and going back, you will place 24 smooth stone slabs. Going back from that, you will place 2 red nether bricks and extend each of them to the right by 1. That is where your build actually starts. This is for the parking lot, and because we're doing the parking lot last, that's all you actually need the smooth stone slabs for right now. So you can get rid of them and get out. We'll go black stained glass. We kind of need like 2 materials here in one, so we'll probably make the glass, and I'll just tell you to leave gaps for the doors that we're going to place here. And not right now, because obviously we have to get there, but, you know. You want to bring each red nether brick, though, up by 11. Just like this. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. And then from the back right-hand corner, red nether brick, that's a weird sentence, you will go right by 22. You will then go forward diagonally to the right with a white concrete. Bring it forward 1, and then right by 3. On top of the white concrete, you will bring at least the front row of 4 up an additional row, and also extend that row to the left and right by 1 each. You will then place 3 additional rows of white on top of that. And then you will place a row of block of coal on top of that. I'm just gonna, just getting my bearings here. You'll then place a row of white concrete on top of that row of block of coal that has 1 block chipped off either end. And then place a row of block of coal on top of that row of white concrete. And then another row of white on top of that row of block of coal. You'll then take the middle 2 white concretes and extend each of them up by 3. And that should put you, I believe, at the same height as the red nether brick. Yes, that is in fact correct. Good. That wasn't intentional now that I'm thinking. Maybe it was. Maybe I did that intentionally. Maybe I'm smart. Anyway, I'm going to tell you, I mean, this is kind of give or take, but bring the edges of that back by, we'll call it 2. It's a little bit weird. Because some places you'll need 2, some places you'll only need 1, but it doesn't matter that it would be in line with that wall because of the double layering on the inside. So I'm just going to tell you to do it this way instead. It makes it a little bit easier. I'll also do the base even though it doesn't matter. Just like that. We're going to focus on the red nether brick layers later probably because we're going to, yeah, we'll do pretty much both at the same time. So what you can do off of the right side of this bowling pin, actually, is it's 3 rows thick, and you want to take the middle row particularly, and you want to go right with 4 red nether brick. And then, oh god, this is where my math has to come in. 11 spruce planks to the right. And then 4 red nether brick. I'm just the greatest. Bring the row of spruce planks back a row. And, okay, this is where things get a little bit weird. Off of the furthest right and furthest left spruce planks, you'll place 3 polished deep slate moving up. You'll also do the same with the middle spruce plank on that back row. We'll come back to this in a bit. We're going to make the other bowling pin and get the other wall situated, and then we're just going to kind of work with the front symmetrically because that's how it is. So, again, just right of this red nether brick here on the far right, you can place a white concrete and bring it forward and backward by 1 each, just so we kind of already have those 3 rows established. You'll go right by 3 from the front, and then you can go back by 2 here on the right, so you have a little bit of a U shape. You'll place a row of white concrete on top of it, specifically the front that extends off the left and the right by 1, and again, you can just go along the sides here as you do this. Bring that up with 3 additional rows of white. And then place a row of block of coal on top. You'll then place a row of white concrete that is 1 shorter off either side from that row of block of coal. And then place a row of block of coal directly on top of the white. And then a row of white directly on top of the block of coal. And then the middle 2 whites can each be brought up by 3. And again, you will bring this back. Nothing crazy. They look like bowling pins enough. They're a little bit fat, I feel like, but it gets the point across. You can tell those are bowling pins. Anyway, from the back row here on the right side of this pin, you will go right and place, I'm going to say 24 red nether bricks. And then the end 2 can each be brought forward by 1, and I'll give you a second. That 2x2 on the far right can be brought up with, what was it, 11? Yes, 11 red nether bricks per block. So there's kind of the framework of the front. You can see we have most of everything marked out that is, I guess, important. So we're going to do something a little bit weird, and we're actually going to use a material that I didn't put on the list, and I'll explain why. So get rid of your polished deep set and your spruce planks, and get out gray wool, which is the one that's not on there, and spruce slabs. And you want to come to the row of spruce. In front of this row of spruce planks, you'll place a row of spruce slabs, and behind it, you'll place a row of gray wool. Because of the doors sitting a block back, the floor underneath them is gray, so it's just better to add the row of gray right now. If you want to make it like spruce, or even like some, so you know it's going to be changed, like white concrete or something, you can. But I get there's really no reason to, because you need gray wool for the floor anyway. You can then get rid of those 2 again, the gray wool and the spruce slabs, and get out dark oak doors and polished deep slate slabs. And first off, you'll take the top polished deep slate slab, or polished deep slate block, sorry, and it'll connect them together with upside down slabs. I was like a little confused, but I got there. Ah, there we go. Inside of these, I guess behind the row of upside down slabs, actually, you can place black stained glass blocks. Don't go behind the polished deep slate blocks. That'll be important later as to why. As in for the interior, not actually for the exterior. You'll take the left and right of those rows of what should be 4 blank glass and extend them down, which will leave you with a 2x2 space in the middle of each of them. You can place dark oak doors in that gap. Oh god. There we go. Now, get rid of your black stained glass, your dark oak doors, and your polished deep slate slabs, and I would advise pushing everything forward by 1 in your inventory, because now we're going to get out deep slate tile slabs, deep slate tile blocks, and actually spruce doors. I was going to go with deep slate tile stairs, but we don't quite need those yet, so we might as well get out the door. Okay. On every single red nether brick from this point, you want to place 3 smooth quartz blocks, or 3 rows of smooth quartz blocks, whatever you prefer. Some of them you won't be able to because of specifically the bowling pin, and that's fine, don't worry about it. Just kind of place it where you can. Just like this. Remember this wall pattern because it will be important later. Although it kind of will change. On top of that, then you'll place a row of smooth quartz stairs. And this one will go all the way across. Including in the middle here, it'll go over top the polished deep slate little door thingies. And now this is where we have to focus on specifically the left and the right. The middle you'll leave alone for a minute because you'll see why. On top of either side of these smooth quartz stairs, you'll place a row of red concrete. And again, you're leaving the middle open. On top of that, a row of upside down smooth quartz stairs. On top of that, a row of right side up smooth quartz stairs. Oh, voice crack, gotta love it. A classic. On top of that, a row of red concrete. And then on top of that, a row of upside down smooth quartz stairs. And you'll end up being 2 rows shorter than both the pins and the corner pillars. But it'll give you this. It almost looks weird without the ceiling. Anyway, we'll focus on that in a second here. On the front row of smooth quartz stairs, or the middle row, I guess, you'll place a row of block of coal. And then on top of that, a row of upside down smooth quartz stairs. Do make sure you are filling in any gaps where the pins kind of jut back in, or when they start to, I guess, I don't want to say shrink. When they start to taper off, that's good enough for words. On top of the row of smooth quartz stairs then, and you can actually do this, well, you could technically do this with all of them, but I'm going to wait, and you'll see why. On top of this middle row, you'll place a row of deep set tile blocks, not to be mysterious or anything with that. In front of that row of blocks, you'll place a row of deep set tile slabs. And also on top of that row of blocks, you'll place a row of deep set tile slabs. Behind the upper row of slabs, you'll place a row of deep set tile blocks behind. And then on top of that row of blocks, you'll place upside down smooth quartz stairs going just across here. And you'll notice these will line up with the stairs on the left and right, like so. From this point, we're going to do the same thing that we just did, except on that upper row. So on top of every single top upside down smooth quartz stair, you'll place a deep slate tile block. This will get kind of weird when we have to do this again on the sides, but I guess it's fine. I didn't think about that particularly. In front of that row of blocks, you'll place another row of deep slate tile, or I guess a row of deep slate tile slabs, not another row. I'm ahead of myself here. And then on top of those deep slate tile blocks, you'll place another row of deep slate tile slabs. Well, I guess actually the block, or this doesn't matter. It's not going to get weird. I was thinking of the fact that it overhangs, but it doesn't overhang enough. You'll see. Behind that row of slabs, you'll then place a row of deep slate tile blocks. And this one you, I believe, want to go behind the pins. Yes, you do want this one to go behind the pins. And to double check, because actually I have an image of the, whatever, it's fine. You don't want it to go behind the red nether brick, though, because essentially those corner blocks are going to line up with the sides. But there you go. That's what the front of your bowling alley pretty much looks like. Those pillars do need the little roofs, which we'll worry about at the end of the walls. So, on both the left and the right, it is the same fate. And I mean exactly the same. There's a door on both sides as well. So you want to take not the furthest out red nether brick, but you want to count in by 1, and I need to do math. You want to go back with 70 red nether bricks. You'll then leave a gap of 1 and place 4 red nether bricks beyond that. The end 2 can be extended to the outside by 1, which, as you can see, it goes towards the corner of my grid here, which is either left or right. On the left, it's left. On the right, it's right, which I guess is easy enough to remember. Other side, same thing. You're taking not the end red nether brick here, but 1 block in and going back by 70. Leaving a gap of 1 and then placing 4 red nether bricks. And the end 2 can extend out by 1. You will connect not the back red nether bricks here, but 1 block forward right here. You'll just connect across the back with more red nether bricks. I don't particularly have the number, but if your front is working properly, then the back should too. But you can just see like this. You kind of have like, I don't know actually. I was going to say Mickey Mouse ears, but those are not Mickey Mouse ears. If Mickey Mouse, like, ate an entire city and his ears didn't change size when he did, and just his head, and he turned into Minecraft Steve, then that's what you're looking at. Oddly specific, but regardless, we're going to move on. We'll actually start with the corners here, because the corners help us kind of, you know, make sure that the walls line up, and they're nice. So the 2x2 corners here of red nether brick, you'll bring each of them up by 11. With red nether brick. That was really bad. Like so, and then on the other corner as well. There you go. While I am thinking about it, the doors are not actually as you would think. There's a reason I left a gap instead of placing a door. Not in the doorway directly, but another block inside of the walls you'll place a spruce door. And it technically doesn't matter what side it's on. It is preferred that it is essentially on the side that would block you from being able to see through on this side. Again, God, those spore blossom particles keep throwing me off. Again, it's not a huge deal because the walls are double layered, which is why the door is placed like this, but here just makes it so that way you have a pretty much almost the same amount of layering on both sides. But yeah, there's a spore blossom right like there, and the particles of it keep throwing me off. They did it too when I was making the grid, and they only happen at the back here. Like, you see when I just saw it fly by. Anyway, same thing on the front with the wall patterns. Just to reiterate, it is 3 rows of smooth quartz blocks. Smooth quartz stair row, red concrete row, upside down smooth quartz stair row, right side up smooth quartz stair row, red concrete, and then upside down smooth quartz stair row. And if you want to do the deep slate tile as well, you can, but I'll make that a separate step, just so you're not doing a million things at once. I guess I'll stay in. Make sure you also, on the first row of smooth quartz, leave the doorway open. The next 2 rows you can fill across. And obviously everything else above as well. But yeah, let me know what you think of this one. This one is definitely the most bowling alley looking. I did have a tough time finding like a design that fit what I wanted, because it felt like everything was kind of too cartoonish almost. This still, I think, walks that line pretty thin, but it works for what I wanted, so I'll take it, and it's definitely better than the other 2. As mentioned, Refresh Hospital is next. I'm looking at it being 5 or 6 floors, and I haven't even finished the first one yet, so... You know, it's getting somewhere, just I haven't had a ton of time to work on it, so it'll probably be around, like, Thanksgiving or Christmas time. That's roughly what I'm looking at right now. But, we'll see. I am trying to get it done sooner rather than later. And then after that, Refresh will be back up and running at a more constant pace. I know kind of you hit like, I think it was Burger King or something, and then they just died. But yeah, that's pretty much fault of the hospital plus, I guess a little bit of Spirit. I just hit the hospital in the list at the wrong time, I guess. But yeah. And I don't even know what's after hospital, I forget. I know laundromat is pretty far up there, I think. Oh, I think it's Dunkin' Donuts, actually. So I was looking at it the other day, and I was just thinking ahead a little bit. Not that I'm going to start it or anything, because I'm very specific with the way that I'm ordering it, but... I was kind of peeking, just seeing, because I thought Aquarium was going to be, like, almost right after, but it's not as close as I thought it was going to be. Because that's one that certainly could use a refresh. That's going to be a weird one. Particularly because I don't want to make it massive, you know? I guess I'll just see how many things I can, or how many, like, fish there are, and just lay it out and be like, okay. Fish, not fish, whatever. Also gotta pick back up the zoo enclosures. I know some of you guys have been following a lot of those. If you're watching this right now and this applies to you, I apologize there haven't been any in a while. I sometimes forget they exist and sometimes just get stuck on one. Right now, the next one is Iron Golem. Which, you know, as weird as it sounds, I don't know, it's gonna not be a fun one. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. That's what you should have for your build. Same thing for the roof as before. A row of deep set tiles on the base of the wall. I'm not going to do the whole row right now. Row of deep set tile slabs outside of that row of blocks. And also a row of deep set tile slabs on top of those blocks. And then a row of deep set tile blocks inside of those slabs, which will give you this, kind of. Actually, from a side angle, it looks like this. That's probably the best way to show it. And yeah, the top row of deep set tile blocks should create a square just inside of the red nether brick pillars, if I'm correct. Yes, I am. They'll basically touch it diagonally, and that's as close as it gets, but... yeah, I'll actually start with that. Let's be weird. Why not? Let's fill top to bottom instead. Because why not? This isn't actually as long as I thought it was gonna be. I was thinking it was gonna be like an hour, but it's 20. We'll say 24 minutes into the tutorial. 22 and a half right now of this particular segment, which has been the whole build. But yeah, it's not that bad. Interior will be pretty bad. That'll probably be like an hour and a half to 2 hours, but I'm ready. Not really. That actually might be a multi-day thing. But I'll see. Guess it does depend on my spirit hours. That's kind of the main thing. It's just how long do I work for what I record afterwards. The only problem is I'll end up running out of short ones eventually. Because I don't have that much ready. Anyway, your build should look like this. Pretty nice. Now, for the red nether brick pillars, you can actually get rid of your spruce door and get out deep set tile stairs. And on top of each red nether brick pillar, you will place a 2x2 of deep set tiles. You'll then surround those deep set tiles and upside down deep set tile stairs, which will just make the pillars look a little bit better. They do look weird generally when there's nothing on top of them. I mean, I guess the original bowling alley would like to have a word with that, but that shouldn't have a word with anything, because oh my god. But regardless, this usually is the way that I go with it. some sort of roofing above it that overhangs. Can't wait for Refresh Walmart, honestly. It's gonna be my favorite. Not really. Anyway, well, I guess I can't say not really, because I guess you never know. You'll have this at this point in time. You can clear your inventory and get out white wool for a moment here. Or I guess longer than a moment, it depends. If you're in creative, awesome. If you're in survival, I'm so sorry. You want to fill in this entire roof here in with white wool in line with these deep set tiles. So if you're on like Switch or something, or phone, you might not even have enough simulation distance for how big this thing is. But because my simulation distance is more than 1, wait, let me see. Yeah, it's 12. You see right there. I can do this whole thing in one go. So basically, if you come to one of the corners, I'm gonna pick the front left. I'm gonna place a white wool in this corner and then one below it and break the top one. If you stand on this bottom one, whatever your coordinate is, you will copy it. If you're on PC, you should be able to Control-Alt-C, which will do this. Or if you have this thing on, you can always hit this button right here. You will then go to the opposite corner, making sure that you do not change your Y coordinate, which mine is 20. Yours probably won't be, but I guess it's a chance. And then what you can do from this point is do slash, fill, and then you'll do 3 tildes, which are those little squiggly lines. Copy that coordinate in, and you can do white underscore wool, or you can just do wool, because it still inputs that. And there you see, that's the thing that really, 4,900 blocks, that's absurd. Anyway, you'll have an eyesore if you look at it too long, which you shouldn't. For the parking lot now, I mean, once you've done that, that's the build done. If you don't want the parking lot, don't, I guess. But you do need, for the parking lot, if you're building it, smooth stone slabs, gray concrete, white concrete, light blue concrete, and sandstone. Side note, before I actually do anything else, I didn't make sidewalks to the doors back there. If this is in an area to where it's freestanding, I would definitely put sidewalks on either side there. It honestly just slipped my mind. I didn't even realize it until I was, like, taking notes and stuff, and I had made the grid already. I was like, wait, there's no sidewalk here, but I didn't bother going back and adding one. But just a thought. Anyway, I'm actually going to tell you to place this row of smooth stone slabs here that you have on the left on the right. So from the red nether brick pillar, you're just going forward with 24 smooth stone slabs. Just like that. Going in from either front one, you will break into the floor and place 7 gray concrete. And then connecting those gray concretes together will be more smooth stone slabs. I love just being able to memorize numbers. I memorized that 24 from the first time. It makes it so much smoother to just roll through it. Anyway, you'll have this. The gap on both sides should be 7, just for clarification. So, if you head to either side of smooth stone slabs, you will head to the backmost slab and count forward by 5. Going in from this particular slab, you will go and place 33 smooth stone slabs. And again, I'll just trace this across, and it'll be the 6th one, I guess, in total forward, but you're counting forward by 5, and then 33 to the left. I'll give you a minute. The other way to just confirm everything is the gap in the middle is 7, and the end 2 smooth stone slabs will be in line with spruce here. Which will mean it's centered. Everything behind the row of smooth stone slabs that we just placed, and I guess in the middle of this gap here, you will break this grass and replace it with sandstone. Do I want to break it or slash fill? I'll break it. I'll do something legitimately. But yeah. You could technically raise this a half a block and make it sandstone slabs, but It's up to you. Generally, I wouldn't do that because most of the builds won't have a raised interior like this one does. This one is raised for the lanes, actually. That is pretty much the only reason I raised them. Because I wanted to make sure that the lanes weren't in the floor more than they needed to be. Because they're in line with the grass, but they're not any lower than that. So I guess if you really wanted to make this in line with bedrock, you definitely could. Why would you? I don't know. But it's an option, okay? Just because it's an option doesn't mean it's a logical option. It just means you can do it. But anyway. And then the parking lot isn't gonna be too bad, hopefully. I'll probably actually fill that all in, but actually with a command this time, because you only get one legitimate thing out of me. And that's where my limit goes. Anyway. You should have this. The area in front of this, I'm going to start by breaking the entire grass and replacing it with gray concrete. You can wait to do this until after, but I just think it's easier to get it out of the way and then punch in the lines that we need. Which will also be able to use a command for that, which is cool. Anyway, you'll have this now. So, in line with the very middle... Actually, do we want to do it that way? I guess you don't have to. We'll not do it that way, actually, for funnies. From the furthest left and furthest right back gray concrete, you will break the corner one along with 4 more in front. So you'll just break rows of 5. Like so. And then you'll keep breaking rows of 5 going inwards towards the center, leaving 3 block gaps between each row of 5. And this should line up in the center to where you'll have a row broken in the center. Which you can, I guess, will be confirmed in a second here. So you'll see you'll break at the edge here of the smooth stone, and then you will have one broken here, in fact, yes. Oh no, my floor. Anyway, almost there. Just like that. From the line here in the center, you will break from the, I guess, furthest forward block of it, you'll break 1 to the right, and then you'll essentially from that broken one count right 2 and back by 1 and break this gray, along with 2 going back diagonally left. And then you also break the, I guess, back right block of that space, like so. And you'll do the same thing on these spaces, not directly next to these, but 1 more out. So you'll leave this one open, and this next one you'll break the 2 corners, and then have the diagonal through the middle. And on this side as well. Essentially, you'll have this. Off the front of the parking lot, you will come to the left and right, smooth stone slabs, and you should count in by 1, and then you'll break a row of 5 here on both sides. They should line up with rows of 5 on the back. You'll then, yet again, leaving gaps of 3, or I guess counting every 4th block if that is more of your interest, you will break rows of 5, gray, going all the way across. There's a lot of spaces. I figured because the bowling alley is big that I matched that with the spaces. I'm scared for the hospital's parking lot now that I'm thinking about it. Oh god. What? What? Huh? What did I do? Oh, I just broke this one wrong. I see. Dang, I'm dumb. From this point, you can fill in all of the lines with white concrete. Now, I mentioned there's a trick to this one. And I know you're probably sick of me using /fill, but you'll thank me later, trust me. If you come to the front left-hand gray concrete, well, I'm actually back a block, but whatever. This gray concrete particularly, you will break it, and you'll be standing in the floor, and you'll copy whatever this coordinate is, and then you can just place that gray concrete back. You'll then come to the back right-hand corner, And you'll stand in this broken block in the very corner here. And you'll do /fill, 3 tildes again, the coordinate that you needed copied, and then either white underscore concrete or just concrete does work. It won't give you the prompt here, but it still works. And then you will do, after that, keep. And the keep will fill in all of the lines, and it will leave the gray concrete. Now, these 3 spaces in the middle here that have the lines going through them, you will take the space to the left of each one and break the very middle block in it and replace it with a light blue concrete. Those are handicap spaces. And, yeah, I believe once you have done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is your Refresh Series Bowling Alley exterior complete. Interior should be tomorrow. Except for members, it'll probably be, like, Wednesday or something. But anyway, that is how I'm going to end this. I guess, that's not what no. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, I'm not streaming, I can tell you that. Have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Okay, well, my emote is gone. It's time to add it back on video. Equip there. Peace.